Hello, my name is Christina Wolf, and today I am going to educate you on the Level 1 Rapid Infuser. I will do this in a couple of ways. First, I will provide information throughout this PowerPoint. Then I will show you a video that I created of me showing you step by step how to set up the Level 1 Rapid Infuser and prime the IV tubing. So what is a Level 1 Rapid Infuser? If you have seen the Level 1 Rapid Infuser, you will see that it is quite large and may look quite intimidating to some at first. However, it is basically a large IV pump that warms the fluid or blood to approximately 40 degrees Celsius and infuses it at a maximum flow rate of 750 milliliters per minute. The device can be used to infuse crystalloids such as normal saline and lactated ringers, as well as colloids such as albumin and dextran, as well as blood products. Let's look at the indications for use. The Level 1 Rapid Infuser is used to provide a rapid flow of warmed fluids. Its main purpose is to replace volume for those patients suffering from blood loss due to trauma, placental abruption, and surgery. It can also be used to provide a fast flow of warmed fluids to patients during surgery. However, here at this facility, we do not use it for this purpose. So you know when there are indications for use, there are always contraindications. Some of the contraindications when using this device are to not warm platelets, cryoprecipitate, and granulocyte suspensions. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, guidelines for the use of blood warming devices, warming of these solutions actually damage these products and can potentially cause patient harm. They also do not recommend, per the manufacturer, to reuse partially full fluid bags or to not use auto transfusion bags. Next, let's look at the required supplies. First, you will need the single-use disposable set. Now, according to the World Health Organization, when administering blood, it is recommended to use a 170 to 200 micron filter. The filter included in this set is actually a 170 micron filter. So when you're administering blood, this is the required filter size. You will also need the solution that you will be infusing, whether it be blood, colloids, or crystalloids. You will also want to have distilled water available in case the water reservoir needs filled. Okay, this here is the Level 1 Rapid Infuser. I know it looks quite intimidating, however, it is basically an IV pump with a warming device and two pressure chambers. So at the top you see there are two pressure chambers. They can fit bags 250 cc's, I believe, up to a liter. Here you have your heat exchanger area. This is number 1 and number 2. This whole area here will be where your fluid is warmed. Here is your water reservoir, and this holds only distilled water. And here is number 3, and that is where your air vent and filter live. Up here you'll see there is a temperature screen, and this will indicate what temperature the water is actually at. It can live anywhere from 40, you want approximately 40 degrees Celsius. It can get up to 42. There's other indicator lights here, and I will go over those as we go through this. So the supplies you are going to need for this, you will need your fluid, whether that is blood, lactated ringers, normal saline. For this video, we're going to use normal saline. You will need either, you'll need your administration set. Here we have the Level 1 normothermic IV administration set. It's D70 is the one we use here at this hospital. Now you're going to have to burp the bag, removing all the air from the bag except blood. You do not need to do that with blood. You can do that one of two ways. So if you, one way you're going to need a 20 cc syringe, a blunt tip needle, and an alcohol swab. Now, step one will be to remove all the air from the bag. Like I said, there's two ways to do this. I'm going to just demonstrate one. I'll, however, explain the other way. The first way you can do that is take your syringe with your blunt tip needle, clean off your port with alcohol, and we use here needleless system, so you'll need a blunt tip needle. You can hold the bag up with the port sides up, remove the air, and you're ready to spike the bag. The second way I'm actually going to demonstrate for you. So first of all, you're going to take your administration set, remove, it comes with a pamphlet that explains anything you need to know about the administration set. And this one has already been opened. It will come in a sterile bag, but they're quite expensive. So for this demonstration, we're going to use one that's already been opened. Okay, first of all, you're going to want to clamp your pinch clamps here near your spikes. And you're going to want to clamp your roller clamp below your drip chamber. Now, in order to spike this bag and remove the air, you want to spike the bag first. This is a little bit more cumbersome than the other way. Unspike your bag. Remove your air. You're going to kind of want to have a table or something to do this on. Make sure all your air is removed. And then re-spike your bag. So it can be a little messy as well. Now, what I like to do is go ahead and hang it on my appropriate hook. Like I said, this tubing is quite cumbersome, so you'll have to deal with me. Okay, at this point, you've got your bag and its chamber. You've got your two pinch clamps. Now, this is double ported, so you're able to hang two types of fluids. You can hang saline, blood, you can hang two of the same. However, you're only going to want to run one bag at a time. This goes very quickly. It goes approximately 750 cc's per minute. So once this device is going, you're not going to be able to leave it. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the device in the machine. So the first thing you're going to do is, this is your heat exchange tube. You do not want to bend this. If you do bend it, there's aluminum tube on the inside. It will destroy it. So first you're going to take it into number one. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's very hard, so you got to kind of be firm with it, and you'll hear it click. You're going to press this into this clamp. Number two, you're going to press down again. This is kind of firm. You got to use two hands a lot of times, and you'll hear it click. Okay. Second step, this is your vent chamber. This has got a 170 micron filter within it. So if you're running blood, that's the World Health Organization recommends you use 170 to 200, and this one is provided with a 170 micron filter. So you're now going to place your vent filter in this. Like I said, you just kind of be firm with it. Now the next step you can prime your tubing before loading it. However, since it is so cumbersome, I do like to do this first. So now you can turn your machine on. And the benefit of doing it this way is while you're priming the tubing, it allows the temperature to come up and actually start warming your heat exchanger while you're priming your tubing. So now I'm going to release my clamp, my pinch clamp right below my bag. I'm going to fill my drip chamber at least halfway full. They recommend halfway to 3/4 full. Once that's done, I'm going to release my roller clamp. Now you're going to have to be prepared at this point, because I'm going to go ahead and hold my roller clamp distal at the distal end just so it doesn't run all over the floor. I do have a trash can here available to catch any of my drippings, however. So now we're going to release this roller clamp below the drip chamber. It's going to prime the tubing. The vent filter actually primes itself. It's self-primed. All the air escapes out of the top of this vent. So you're going to want to tap it and make sure, as you can see, there's bubbles that come out, and they actually get trapped, and you can remove it too. Now, it's going to indicate, it's going to alarm, but you can tap it on the side of the device and just remove any of the air filters air bubbles that you might see collected on your filter, the mesh that's within the device. So, as you can hear, the warning light came off. I'll go over those warnings for you. Now we're going to release the roller clamp, make sure all the air is completely out. And now we have a completely primed unit. It's ready to go. The next step will be to close our chamber, our pressure chamber. And it's a little stiff. In order to pressurize the bag, you're going to need to flip the switch above from the negative side to the positive side. And once that's done, air will inflate the bag within this device and bring it up to pressure, approximately 300 millimeters of mercury. Now, one thing you really need to be careful with these bags are you do not want to have any of the bag exposed outside of the actual chamber. If it's too big, or if you put it on the wrong hook, it will could actually rupture the bag. So now once it's pressurized, you can now connect it to your patient. Make sure your distal roller clamp here is released and you're ready to go. Now, like I said, you're going to have to stay with this device the entire time. It will go very quickly. You'll want to do one bag at a time. So once this bag is finished, I will release this clamp because I will have another bag in this chamber ready to go. You can also hang other fluids at the top. There's plenty of hooks up here. So if you've got a situation where your patient is hemorrhaging, you know you're going to give them a lot of fluid, you can go ahead and have these bags burped and ready to go, so that all you're doing is switching them out one for the other, and just keep it going. So now I want to go over these indicator lights up here at the top. Right here is the temperature screen, which I told you right now it's reading 41 degrees, so we're within range. You want it in between 40, no higher than 42. Below, you can't see this on the screen, but is the operating indicator light. That is telling me that my tubing is in this machine properly and it is functioning properly. As you heard earlier, if I remove this, it will indicate. The next light that indicates it's the disposable. The disposable is the IV tubing itself. So something is not in the machine properly. Somewhere we missed a step or we didn't load it properly. And there's two really most common causes. One of the first causes is the number 2 clamp wasn't pressed in hard enough. So make sure you really press hard. It really takes a lot of pressure to get this to click on. Second is the vent chamber may not be in position properly. So now the next indicator light is, and it basically says it, add water. So at that point, if that light is indicated, that means you need water in your water chamber. You are only to use distilled water. Calcium buildup, all kinds of buildup can happen if you use anything other than. So all you have to do that is remove your little stopper, pour your water in, and you're good to go. The final light is a very important light. That is the over temperature indicator light. If that is lit, the water is over temperature, so therefore your fluid is probably going to be over temperature, which could injure the patient. If you're running blood, it will destroy the products that are running through it. So it should not be used at that point. That is when you really need to get biomed involved, have them check the device out and make sure it's safe to use. That's about it for this product. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out, I forgot, was the filter here needs to be changed out every 3 hours, or if the filter is clogged. So that's basically it with the level 1 Rapid Infuser. Thank you.
Now let's watch the video and see how I set up the level 1 Rapid Infuser and prime the IV tubing. There are a few final points that I'd like to make. First of all, after removing the tubing from the package, verify that all the Lorlock sites are secure and tight. Remember, this system is pressurized, and the fluid will be administered very quickly to the patient. You do not want to risk air entering the system at any point. Secondly, if the air detector alarm is active, you want to respond immediately by turning the machine off and depressurizing the bags by moving the lever from the positive position to the negative position. Not responding quickly could result in patient injury or death. And finally, I hope you enjoyed this presentation and video on the level 1 Rapid Infuser, and I thank you and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.